Hey there, welcome to the Gyro Step, a Milwaukee Bucks podcast, proudly a part of the Blue Wire Podcast Network and GSPN, and presented by our pals at Prize Picks. Folks, you can now win up to 2,000 times your money on Prize Picks. Rohan and I are going to share. We are absolutely cooking this week on Prize Picks for the basketball playoffs. So use code EuroStep to get $50 when you play $5 for the first time, win or lose. Speaking of winning, hashtag winning, I'm here with Rohan Katti. Number one guy out there.
Number one
Rohan.
guy.
Number one
I'll
guy.
take
We all
that.
agree. How's it going,
Number one.
Rohan?
I'm doing
We
well. I'm doing
voted. We
especially
voted.
well.
The people voted and you won. So congratulations.
Number one guy. I don't know how to feel about that. I feel like there's some other guys you could put above. I don't know. Tom
FDR.
Hiddleston.
Oh.
Oh, we went very different directions.
I'm just thinking of like the new Mount Rushmore of you, FDR, Hiddleston, and I don't know who the fourth would be.
the lead singer of Green Day.
Oh, Billy Joel Armstrong?
That his name?
I think so. That'd be an interesting collection of dudes, but we'll get you your number one guy merch. We will get the Bucks number 5 in the East merch as they on Friday, locked up their seeding with a nice win over the Detroit Pistons. Followed it up on Sunday with a ludicrously capricious win over the same Pistons, where Pat Connaughton became, what did you say? It was the
fourth player in Bucks history to have a 40, 10, and 5 game.
just
With
incredible.
Kareem, Giannis, Chris, and now Pat Connaughton.
Did you see what I put out there?
Depends on what you're talking about.
You're absolutely right to say that. I put a lot of stuff out there. I shared a graphic from StatMuse on the list of all-time Bucks who have ever just done straight up 43 points or not. Pat was the 16th, and it's so funny because Giannis did it 36 times, has had 40 points for the Bucks. This is probably just regular season. Kareem did it 34 times, so they're like right up there with each other. And then it drops down Michael Redd 5 times. Like the level of the two best players in franchise history, then everybody else is very funny. For anyone wondering, Chris Middleton 3 times.
Yeah, so it's just regular season.
Floyd Robinson 3 times.
Oh, shout out Floyd Robinson.
Shout out to Floyd. And then Dame, Ray Allen, and Big Dog twice. Dame already being on there as 2, and that being tied for, amongst like only five Bucks have done it more. Kind of incredible. Drew has 1. Brandon Jennings has 1. Ramon Sessions, Ricky Pierce, Sidney Moncrief, Brian Winters, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know who Jay Price is, but Jay Price did it once too.
Jay Price.
Shout out to Jay Price. I don't know who that is, but they scored 43 points, and of course now Patrick Connaughton.
I think it's really funny how after the game, Dame's doing some interviews, and he's talking about, or just on the court, they're doing some like social media videos and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just talking about how Dame is really happy that Pat didn't break his Bucks career high.
Yeah.
He almost did. If he made his free throws, like Dame said, he would have done it. Dame's Bucks career high is 45.
Yeah. Pat with the 43-11-5, 2 steals, just 2 turnovers, despite being the alpha for the game. Does miss 3 free throws. He was 5 of 12 from deep. Consistently dribbled himself into good looks, which I felt like was one of the most jarring parts of this game. Well, one, the fact that the young athletic Detroit Pistons let Pat break them down off the dribble over and over. I mean, we know he's a good finisher. He had some absurd, like it was like a sky hook, but he started at his waist. Like some of the scoop shots he made were ridiculous and beautiful, but the whole thing was a little absurd, frankly. But he looked really good dribbling himself into threes, and I was kind of like, oh man. I was arguing with people on Twitter like Taurean Prince deserves to play over Pat. I was watching this game. I was like, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what Doc does here. But really nice offensive game from Pat Connaughton, obviously.
I know. It's just crazy to see how he can just maneuver and manipulate a defense. Yeah. It's just like he was saucing them up.
These are like 22-year-old kids. They could not keep up with Pat Connaughton. And then Malik Beasley, who was trying to lead the league in threes.
And did it?
I didn't see the Wolves game. He got himself like a 5-3 lead. So unless Ant kind of went crazy, I think he did do it.
I think Ant. I saw a video of Ant pleading to get back in because he was like 1 away from tying and 2 away from breaking it.
Oh, they smoked Dallas. So yeah, it makes sense.
But yeah, I love how we're talking about this game first before the the clinching game. Ty's searching.
They didn't even play Ant? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong team. I'm an idiot. I was looking at I was looking at Grizzlies Mavs for some reason. There's so many blue teams out west.
Grizzlies Mavs, they didn't play Anthony Edwards. Who could have
I
thought?
was like, I don't see Ant anywhere here. I clicked on the one next to it.
Yeah, I think
Now
he
it's
had five
loading.
threes.
So yeah, well, how do you feel about the sanctity of the three ball? Ant had 7 threes.
Oh, so I guess they did put him back in.
Did he? How many did Bees had? I think Ant entered the day what, up 1? Did they say?
Yeah, Bees
Bees had
had.
7, so Ant did it.
Yep.
I'm honestly kind of happy. I thought it was disrespectful to the game that Bees was in that game for as long as he was.
Oh, 100%.
Just literally just there to chuck threes and try to do this
At
thing.
least Kuz only played the first quarter.
I think there's a difference between playing a quarter, and Cluse isn't chasing any records. He just wanted to, like, he apparently asked Doc, him and AJ Green, like, hey, we want to play. So Kuz plays the whole first quarter, goes off, by the way. Incredible quarter from Kyle Kuzma, 22, 2 and 2 for him in 12 minutes. Green plays about 19 minutes, just, kind of getting some shots up. AJ had 4 assists in that time, made a couple of shots. Bees was out there. It was only 19 minutes. It felt like longer. Ends up leading the Pistons in scoring, but just bombing away from three. I didn't love it, especially after the dust up on Thursday night.
Which apparently they're all good now. Who knows? But
It's
it was really
immaterial.
funny.
It's
It was really
immaterial.
funny. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Bucks beat Detroit handily in what at that point was probably like their most important game of the regular season. You could
On
say.
Friday?
Yeah.
Yes.
Looking back, I mean, obviously you can identify some others, but to lock in 5, to not have to worry about falling to play, probably the Knicks, and it ended up being the Knicks. Giannis ends with another 30-point triple-double. The Bucks have another game where there are 5 additional players who score in double figures, plus 2 more at 9, plus another one at 7. Just incredibly balanced. So in this game, 9 Bucks played. Obviously, Giannis leads in everything. The second leading scorer was Portis with 17. The lowest scorer was Rollins with 7. So the other 8 guys are all within 10 points, super balanced attack, and they hold off the Pistons despite one takeaway from this game, by the way. If the Pistons upgraded the Cade surrounding cast from absolute bums to real NBA players, if they find a couple real NBA stars or even one, this team's going to be a problem because Cade is
Oh
just
yeah.
ridiculous, dude. 36, 12 assists, 6 boards, and the Bucks had no. And the Bucks have some solid defenders now. They had nothing for him. But again, it's a team where the second best offensive player is either Malik Beasley or Tobias Harris. So there's just a ceiling there, and the Bucks won. But near the end of the game, Giannis blocks a Malik Beasley 3 to really steal it up and shimmies for like an hour in his face. Tries to dap him up after, kind of reminiscent of the Jaylen Brown thing. And Bees just not having it. They get double tax. Bees is like pushing him away. And we found out later Giannis was telling him that the shimmy is not hard, which is very, very funny. But what were your thoughts on the Beasley dust up?
I thought the funniest part was just Giannis not fully understanding that Bees was really mad.
Yeah, or just not caring. I think it could just be he's unbothered.
Yeah, it's like this is an important game for your team. You're not on the Bucks anymore. This is could be a budding rivalry. And it's just like Giannis trying to be like, oh, okay, we're just having some fun out there. I thought Bees was soft, but it's still like
Yeah.
I get it.
I mean, I get, he oh, he does your move in front of you, blah, 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 whatever, Bees. You talk trash to the Bucks bench literally every time you hit a shot against the Bucks. He acts like he has this vendetta against the Bucks. They're the ones who got him paid. They literally couldn't have matched the contract he got with Detroit in the first place. Like, is it because he was benched going to the playoffs because he played terrible?
Is it
Is
because he's
that
writing
why?
checks that Dame had to cash?
Right. Like I've never understood his mentality. I mean, you people can go back when he was on the Bucks. I was like, hey, can this guy shut up? I've never understood his mentality. Obviously, he's a great 3-point shooter. Obviously, that has not translated to the playoffs ever for him. We'll see if it does against the New York Knicks. Detroit really needs it to. We'll see about it. But yeah, I thought it was very funny. Beasley, a player who I don't very much enjoy. Giannis really just like, I mean, Um, just great. It was just great. And Giannis hit that shimmy well too.
I think the funniest thing was like looking like people deciphering the audio and Cade talking
Yeah.
about Giannis,
Dude, the Cade Giannis
saying I didn't know he
interaction.
talks like that.
It's so good, dude. It's so good. Cade just cracking up. That's the thing. Even on the Pistons, who are like this, scrapping team or whatever, Cade is still just comes off as like a very likable, even keeled guy. I'm very pro Cade.
I know.
I'm with
I
you
really
now.
like Cade.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank
Cade's
you.
awesome.
My stock investments are finally paying off
They
on
they
Cade.
they totally are. They totally are. Here's what I want to talk about next.
Okay.
Bro, we didn't say this up top. For people wondering, we'll do more playoff previews. I've got a shorter episode that'll probably go up sometime tomorrow or maybe Wednesday, probably Tuesday, with the Setting the Pace guys, Blue Wire's Indiana Pacers podcast, which you should go check out. I'll plug them again on that. But we did a bit like they just came and asked me a bunch of questions, and we talked through, some of what's different or some things going into the series. Rohan and I will do our full series preview a little later in the week to get ready, fully ready for Bucks Pacers. That series starts Saturday at noon, baby. Get ready for more no nap hoops. And we will, of course, be going through doing a lot of post game, probably every game, post game pods throughout the playoffs, however long that is. Will that be 5 games? Will that be 12 games? We don't know yet. We will know, and then we'll do all the pods. So if you're wondering, well, these guys aren't talking about the playoffs very much just yet, we will. But we've got a whole week. We've got literally 5 more days, so there's plenty of time for that. I want to talk about the new forbidden lineup, Rohan,
Oh,
because this
forbidden
is
desire.
I have a
Forbidden
forbidden
love.
desire for this group to start. It's always good when Rohan starts whispering. That's how you know we're in playoff mode here. I guess right now we're in postseason mode. Playoff mode starts Saturday. We're in play-in mode until then.
Which doesn't exist.
It won't exist after. It exists in the moment. Live in the moment. What happens in the play-in stays in the play-in, Rohan. I thought you
Literally.
could respect that. As the number one guy, I thought you could respect that.
That's fair.
The lineup. So it's very funny. I pulled up the fourth quarter stats for Bucks Pistons. And for the one that mattered, sorry, Pat Connaughton. And 6 players played in the fourth quarter. Giannis, 12 minutes. Bobby Portis, 12 minutes. Kevin Porter Jr., 12 minutes. AJ Green, 12 minutes. Torian Prince, 15 seconds. And Gary Trent Jr., 11 minutes and 45 seconds. Basically the same thing Doc did against the Wolves. And I think kind of similar against the Pels, although that game wasn't – no, because that game wasn't contested. And they pulled all the key players. But same thing Doc did against the Wolves in the dramatic comeback. The Bucks going with this lineup that consists of exactly one player who starts games for them, but has been their best lineup since Portis returned, which, mind you, it's only 3 games. Bobby's been great in those 3 games. But this lineup, KPJ, Trent, Green, Portis, Giannis, has been incredible. Their zone has been incredible. They've played other defenses and it's worked. And offensively, they are just fully leaning into Point Giannis with a bunch of space, a bunch of shooting, and enough athleticism and defense. And they dominate. They didn't even shoot well against the Pistons, but they still were a +5 overall and ended up winning that game. Giannis took a couple threes because he was just gassed. But as I mentioned earlier with the balanced scoring, Giannis has 6, KPJ has 6, Trent has 6, Green has 6, Portis has 2 points, and Prince had 1. They've just been super balanced. Giannis has been dishing. They've defended extremely well. What have you seen from this group of 5 that Doc has been going to close out games?
Intensity, defensive intensity, offensive intensity. They play so hard that and it sounds like a cliche, right? However, after watching the Bucks for the last 2 years, it's a breath of fresh air, and it's
Yeah,
actually something that's well needed, like very much needed. It's a lineup that, like you said, is very versatile in terms of its offensive output and its defensive output. You can switch a lot there. You can pull guys and have Giannis peel towards the rim, like have guys X out. It's really versatile defensively, hard-nosed defensively. Bobby being the worst defender in that lineup by far, but they still managed to make it work because he is a mobile big. it just works, and offensively, it's just a juggernaut, right?
Yeah.
You have KPJ and Giannis with rim pressure. Their pick and roll is really, really, really good and effective. You have Trent and AJ, two of the best shooters that Giannis has ever played with, just out there shooting the lights out. This lineup, by the way, in 41 high to medium leverage minutes, is shooting 47.5% from three. It
Jeez.
it's ridiculous with a net rating of 55.1.
They've
It
been dominant.
it's been a dominant lineup. It's been a crazy good lineup. And you know what the worst thing about this is? Not sorry, wow, the worst thing. The really good thing
Oh,
about
okay.
this.
Thought you were gonna say we barely see it. I was gonna agree with you.
Yeah. Well, that's 41 total like real minutes is crazy. But having it be a lineup that Doc is actually going to
I think
lately?
this is the number one story with the Milwaukee Bucks. I mean, Dame's injury, sure, number one, which we'll talk about a little bit. But in terms of on-court, what we're seeing, that's the number one story. We don't see this from Doc.
No, not even a little bit.
Even usually when there's like, oh, maybe one bench player, if they're playing extremely well, will get into the closing five. But usually he goes back to the starters at some point. And two fourth quarters now. I mean, I can look at the Wolves game. I believe this group played the entire fourth against the Wolves as well, or at least most of it. When was that game?
The Wolves game,
Yes.
like last
Like Tuesday.
Wednesday.
Was it what? No, it was Tuesday. I got it here. So against the Wolves, obligatory full screen league pass ad.
For
Brooke
what? The
played.
season's over.
I don't know. Next year, I guess. Brooke played a minute and a half. So they went to this pretty early in the fourth. Giannis just sat for like a minute and a half at some point. But then Bobby, Trent, KPJ, AJ Green all played the full 12 minutes. And again, in that time, Trent and Portis did not even shoot all that well, but they ended up shooting 50% from three because AJ was dialed in. I pulled up the stats. I have Bucks team stats since Dame went down. And I always love looking at what AJ Green's slump actually means. And I know he's been a little hot lately, but I feel like most people, if I had asked you, like, oh, what do you think AJ is shooting, like higher or lower than his season average over the last 14 games? I feel like consensus would be, he's been a little up and down, probably a little lower. He's
Oh, I
leading
would
the
have said
Bucks.
higher.
Okay, well maybe I'm just off. 48% in his last 12, the Bucks last 14, leading the rotation players. Rollins is at 47%, Trent's at 41%, TP's at 40%, Portis 38, Brook 38, KPJ 37.8, Kuzma 36.9. I don't know how much we'll talk about Kyle Kuzma today. I will tell you, the Bucks are overdue to have a player who shot terrible all season really heat up toward the end. We'll see if he can be that guy. Pat somehow still shooting 31.6%, even with that. He only shot 40% from three, so didn't raise his number that much. He could also
And he
be,
probably took his entire volume of threes on the season in that one
yes,
game.
pretty much. I think he was like 20-some% before that. But to your point, a lot of guys red hot, especially Green, who looks as good as ever. Like totally snapped out of that funk, which is huge for the Bucks. And
Defensively,
thankfully,
especially.
yeah, he looks way better, way more active, not picking up the crazy amount of fouls.
Maybe he
And
just
even
needed to get hurt.
like I don't know, maybe he had time to watch more film. Maybe I don't know what it is,
Happened to
but
Trent early in the season.
yes, it's. I mean, could Prince miss like a quarter and come back in and try really hard and know where to stand the whole game?
Someone injured Torian Prince's shoulder. Kidding,
Just
obviously.
slightly,
God,
just a one
we're
quarter
kidding.
injury. We're quitting. We're kidding. We're kidding.
We're quitting. Oh no.
We're quitting. We're kidding. Um, but no, that lineup, but to what we were talking about initially, and I went to look up, they basically played two fourth quarters with less than two total minutes of any other Bucks playing at all. In the last two games that mattered, right? Like the Pels game, maybe they would have too. They were up big. They ended up winning by a lot, and the game just didn't matter. Of course, nobody played against Detroit. But that tells me, I don't know if the starting lineup is going to change against Indiana. I hope it does. But that tells me Doc is well aware of the groups that work. And I don't think we're going to see a Brook Lopez 40-minute game against the Pacers, or maybe even like 35. It just feels like Doc is using this time before the playoffs start to kind of scout like what do we need to do what's working, what's the best thing for the team right now. And he obviously has found a lineup he really likes, like more than the starters, because again, this group playing full fourth quarters, playing a lot in second quarters too, really tells you that, Doc has found something with this group that he really likes and really trusts to play them at the end of the games here.
Yeah, he found something he really likes, he really trusts, and is willing to go to.
Yes.
It's such a breath of fresh air, honestly, to see Doc be able to go to stuff like that. And I love how he's just like, nah, we're not changing anything about it. All you guys, you're playing the entire quarter. I don't care.
Yeah. He's like, I love how this is going. Like I was like, and I don't think he has to do it that way. Like I thought Rollins could have come in for
It's
Trent.
not all or nothing, Doc.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you put in Rollins for Trent a little bit, I don't think you lose what works with that group. Like I think there's other combinations, but I think the general point of it is really good, and it's something that we should see constantly in the playoffs, and it could make the difference in the series with Indiana. Giannis and a bunch of shooters. I think Bucks fans and Doc, the lineups he's played this year, kind of overcorrected on the Bud thought we needed too much shooting. We don't need that much shooting. Giannis and 4 shooters is unstoppable on offense. And it's just way better than anything else they do. And I mean, Brook is, again, he's shot well, kind of a shooter. But like Brook and Kuzma and some of the other non-stretchy guys, Ajax, they just hold up the floor and you can just see it. Like these groups look totally different. And I think part of the defensive intensity is the Bucks are a team where their defense, and this is probably every single team in the league, but I feel like the Bucks, it's like more stark. When they are scoring the ball and the other team has to take it out of the rim, they just look like an entirely different defense. And this group has so much space and they get great shots and they knock them down. And then defensively, they lock the F in. And I hope we continue to see a lot of groups where Giannis is the worst shooter and there's at most one of Lopez, Kuzma. I don't know if we're going to see Ajax at all at this point, but you can put Ajax in there too.
Yeah, I don't think we're seeing Ajax at all. But yeah, those lineups were
technically the Bucks' best 3-point shooter since Dame went down at 50%. Technically.
percentage-wise.
Yes.
Not efficiency-wise.
Well, efficiency-wise too, but not in a way
not
that
at all
matters.
efficient. Yeah, I mean, it's volume.
Yeah, 2. He's one of 2.
Yeah, that's not good efficiency.
It's still good efficiency. It's not good production.
1 second.
Is there another definition of efficiency?
This is not worth my time.
But you're still doing it.
No, I'm done. I'm not even going to do it.
Okay.
No Ajax.
No, I don't think so. Which is fine. I don't think he needs to play.
No, but those Giannis 4-shooter lineups, and it's I think it even works even though KPJ is kind of a shaky shooter from 3.
I've had to stop including him as a bad shooter, the way he shot the ball overall as a Buck and lately.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried about when the well is going to break and when the dam's going to break. What's the saying?
Yeah.
Is either of those the saying?
Maybe when the well goes dry and when the dam bursts.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking of. When the well goes dry.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm kind of still worried about that, and I hope that doesn't happen in the postseason, but I think it's something that needs to be taken into consideration. But,
Yeah.
I think you ride with it until you don't see it, because that's what the Bucks have been doing, and it's continued to shine. But yeah, those Giannis 4-shooter lineups, what are you supposed to do? It's been the formula ever since Giannis has been a star, right? It's just, surround Giannis with the best shooting possible. He's such a good passer where he can get whatever, he can get it to wherever and whoever he wants it to go to. And there's good, I think the addition of KPJ in those lineups with the additional rim pressure makes it that much more deadly.
The best lob thrower to Giannis since ever?
I think since Chris. We're not out here disrespecting legends, Tom.
I'm not disrespecting him. I just think it feels like KPJ throws him more lobs per game.
On Giannis lobs was wow. Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is in frame, but that Chris.
Oh, it's jumper. It's a little bit. I think you can see Chris. It's like a little cut off, unfortunately.
Yeah, but we don't disrespect legends over here.
I'm not disrespecting him. I just think KPJ can get to it. Back to the efficiency question on what that word means. KPJ can get to the spot more because he gets downhill so fast. It opens up a lot. There are different ways. We'll say that. but easily one of the best 2 lob throwers to Giannis ever. I think. I mean,
Yes.
him and Dame have not worked out this kind of. It just looked easy for KPJ when he's just like, I just got to put it up there. I don't know why. I don't know why how it's not easy for everyone because that should
Yeah, I
be
was
a
like,
really
it's kind
easy
of like
concept
it's a little bit of an indictment on Dame, honestly.
on everyone he plays with. That more people aren't just like, oh, if there's any space around me at all, I can just put the ball up there and he's gonna slam it home.
Yeah.
But what matters, KPJ's figured it out. The rim pressure he puts on feels like he's taking less middies. And the Bucks talked about this a couple weeks ago of like basically I think Giannis and maybe Doc or someone were like, hey, just go to the rim. Just go all the way there. Just like you can get there. And he's been doing it. Rollins has been doing it. But they've got 2 3-level scoring point guards who can also defend and who are athletic. And that alone just feels like it's opened up a ton for Giannis.
Yeah, it
So
really has. Giannis he feels like he's as good as ever.
yeah, we'll talk about Giannis, but first, speaking about slamming it home, let's slam
Is it
home some
Morbin time?
dubs. It's Morbin time. Oh, thank you. Slam home some dubs on Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Cash in on the basketball playoffs. It's your last chance to add your favorite players from the court to the Prize Picks lineup, whether it's points, rebounds, assists, made threes, or more steals. Pick more or less for your shot to win. Get this, win up to 2,000 times your cash today. You can turn your playoff hot takes into tickets to basketball's championship series. Starting with the play-in round, every lineup you make on Prize Picks will enter you in the Takes 2 Tickets sweepstakes, which could get you and a +1, a VI trip to the ship. Ooh, look at that. We've got something to talk about here. So
Do
we
it.
heard. So basically, Prize Picks is just cranking up the demon. The demon time is more than ever. So I don't have a full 2K today. I shied away a little bit, but even though this is a flex play, Rohan, I still have a 310 time multiplier if I nail all 6 picks here. So we are in big money mode on Prize Picks. Here's my projection. Stephen Curry, Tuesday night, more than 6.5 made threes. So we're looking at an explosion from Steph. Was pretty cold in his last game, facing a Memphis team he has history with. I could see Steph going off here. Trae Young, these are all 6 demons here. We're going all out. Trae Young, more than 44.5 points, rebounds, assists. This one kind of feels like light work to me. We'll see. Well, watch. Now I'll hit the other 5 and not this one. But Trae, 45 PRA.
It's a flex play.
Not a stretch. Yeah, that would be still a dub. Got a little crazy on the bigs here. Onyeka Okongwu, more than 1.5 made threes. He's got a couple games with 2 made threes lately. I could see Orlando losing him in the corners. Same for Bam Adebayo, more than 2.5 made threes, shooting at 40%. My guy
I
Bam
have to eat crow on this.
took the midi that he's dialed in on, stepped it out even further. Bam Adebayo
You
would
saw
be a
the
good
vision.
future Buck. I did. Dyson Daniels, more than 14.5 rebounds and assists. I had the same play for Pat Connaughton yesterday, and Pat certainly hit it. I should have done points, double, triple demon time. Pat would have been over any projection on points. And then Franz Wagner, more than 6.5 assists. So it's going to be a fun week here watching playing Prize Picks. And I believe you also have a super demon-filled projection. Is that right?
Oh yeah. I got even though this is a flex play, I got an 830x
Ooh, even more than
multiplier
me.
going here. So here's the lineup. We got Tyler Hero Wednesday night against the Chicago Bulls, more than 32.5 points. Someone's got to score.
Someone's got to score. I like that.
Franz Wagner, Atlanta Hawks defense, not the best, some might say. So can he get more than 7.5 assists? I think so.
Oh yeah.
Dyson Daniels, the Orlando Magic, the other side of that. Can he get to more than 19.5 points? You know what? He might have to. The team's gonna show a lot of bodies towards Trae. Might hurt your
Trae, get him those assists. Yeah, Trae, get those assists to him. That little floater he's got locked in. Yeah.
It works. Say another one in that game. Trae Young, more than 4.5 made threes. He gets space. He gets space. He doesn't even need much of it, but as long as he can get a sliver of space, a sliver of daylight, he's going to be able to put a shot up.
Yeah.
Ja Morant, more than 35.5 points. He's got to show up.
He might go down and call in a tactical nuke as his next celly if he gets there.
He might, but he's got to show up. He has.
Yeah.
He's got to prove that he's the best player on that team, even though I don't think he is.
Yeah.
So we shall see. And then Steph Curry, more than 39.5 points and assists. He's got to get this team into the playoffs. Like you
Yeah.
got to. Like Jimmy
And
Butler's gonna have a
it's,
lot of rim pressure and all that. He's gonna might get a lot of bodies focused on him. Steph's got to go off.
I mean, yeah, it's you lose this, and then your best case is playing the Thunder in the first round. Good luck with that, buddy. Great picks, Rohan. Everyone else, get it on the action. You got a full all day here today to get ready for play-in week, and then of course, playoff basketball comes up this weekend, so there'll be a lot more fun plays to do. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code Eurostep to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code Eurostep or the link in description. Get $50 when you play your first $5 lineup, win or lose. Prize Picks. Run your game. Giannis has just been, oh my God. In this season as a whole, 30, 11.9, 6.5 assists to just 3.1 turnovers. So a better than 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. Again, shot 60% from the field while scoring 30 points per game. Do you know how many seasons in a row Giannis has averaged at least 30 points per 36 minutes?
It's got to be like 7,
Oh, you
6.
striped it. No, you striped it. 7. It's 7.
Oh wow.
So done that 7 times in a row, has scored 30 real point per real game 3 times in a row, and for 2 straight seasons has averaged 30, 11, 6.5, and shot 60% from the field. So incredible
Is that good?
consistency. Remember, he's been on the downslope for 3 years now, which apparently
That's what I
just
heard.
means
He's past his peak.
he's past his peak.
The regression
Unfortunate, but
starting. Started a
what can
few
you
years
do?
ago.
Yeah, it started a few years ago, and he's probably pretty much done by now. Hopefully, he's got enough in the tank to have like a 20-point playoff game or something. Since Dame went out, Giannis averaging 31.2 points on still 61.2% from the field, 33% from three. He's just taking taking a 1.5 per game, just probably to throw it up there and try and get some free points, and they're going in okay. 11.3 rebounds, 8.6 assists to 2.2 turnovers. Has what, 3 or 4 30-point triple doubles in like his last 5 games. Has been absolutely dialed in. I think this isn't like a big takeaway. I don't think anyone should be super surprised by this. But I will say the fact that Giannis loses his star colleague for a first time kind of since ever, since he's been this
Colleague
good.
is so funny.
I think it's the most true word you could use about a teammate also, but they're colleagues. I don't know if they're buds. But this is probably the most we've seen Giannis play without any sort of star, including like a Drew Holiday, since like ever.
Yeah, basically since ever.
Since Giannis has been this kind of player, I would say. And he's just immediately like, oh yeah, you want me to do the Jokic thing? Sure. Yeah.
Easy. I can
Why
do that in
not?
my sleep.
Yeah. At
Not
20
that hard.
assists, 17 boards. Like, yeah, I could. If you want me to have, if sure you want me to have the ball the whole time, I mean, I guess.
I thought I have to give it to all these non-shooters. I thought that's the rule.
Okay, yeah, I'll just keep scoring and assisting every single time. Like I talked about sometimes this season, I feel like Giannis hasn't always had the best balance of the scoring and the playmaking. And that's kind of the concern when Dame goes out is, okay, if there's games where he is just strictly looking to score, it could be bad. That hasn't really happened at all. I mean, again, like these last 5 games in particular, 35, 20 assists, 17. He had triple doubles in 4 of the 5. Probably would have been 5 out of the 5, but exits the Pels game because it lost meaning midway through the game. But like had a 15 assist game against Detroit, has just been an incredible hub of offense. And it doesn't seem to be wearing on him that much more. I feel like he hasn't looked like totally exhausted at the end of games too often. I mean, against the Wolves a little bit maybe, but overall, he just looks incredible right now, playing a way we're not used to seeing Giannis play, more like a Jokic or a Luka, the way they've played in years past.
Yeah, it's just it's a different role, it's a different situation for him. He hasn't been tasked, thankfully, to do that much during his Bucks tenure. It's as a star, it's actually I think it's a good thing. It's a really good thing that he hasn't been asked to do that a lot. He's been asked to do it in the postseason a bunch, but he's in the regular season.
Sort of, but he's still split duties. He hasn't had the ball this much. Like even in 22, I mean, Drew was still getting to 20 points on like 20 shots per game.
No, it's like 30 shots. Let's be honest.
Probably, yeah, I mean, it's trying to be generous. Yeah, they're gonna call us. They're gonna say we hate Drew now because we remember how that series.
Because we remember what happened.
Do you
It's
think
okay.
they had
Celtics fans
better?
have already turned on him, so it's fine.
Do you think they had better point guard play overall offensively in 2022 or 2025 playoffs, assuming Dame does not play?
Ooh, offensively, I think it might be 25.
I There's a
I th
caveat, of course, that role players are subject to going up and down, but the way they've played in the last 2 weeks, I think Rollins and KPJ give them more juice offensive. We'll see. We'll see how the series goes. Um, there's certainly a conversation to be had based on the way those guys have played, though.
100%. I think it's yeah. That was 22 point guard, man. That was rough. Defensively, it's not a question. It's 22. Uh,
Yeah.
no, Ty. Let's come on.
I didn't remember him putting a stamp on that series defensively. I could just be
Not
losing
the
it in
not the
the annals
game
of time.
sealing block and steal in game 5.
Yeah, it's great. He clamped Marcus Smart. I think there were some more players the Bucks could use
Ty,
help on.
let's not let's
That was a great. Okay. I forgot.
great plays. 2 of them.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
You're right.
come on.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. We got to hold each other accountable.
No, I agree.
Yeah. But no, offensively, I think it could definitely be 25. The way Kevin Porter's playing, the way Ryan Rollins is playing, it's so I can't I'm waiting to wake up and that that I'm not dreaming anymore. That this is how the Bucks are replacing James' production is by
Yeah.
these two players playing incredibly well, and I keep on just being in reality. Like it's not a dream.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say KPJ has probably had like around 3-ish games in this post-game stretch, probably less post-game, total post-break since he really started playing a lot. Has had 3 minutes where I think he's played just straight up poorly on both ends. And in those 3 games, Rollins has picked him up, and I think vice versa. There's been a couple of games where Rollins was not that effective, and KPJ was able to pick him up. I think because of the level of play Giannis is at, and we know this is a great matchup for Giannis, right? Like Indiana has no answer for him whatsoever. So clearly Giannis is going to be able to find joy, whether it's, when they only send one, he's going to be able to score whenever he wants. And whenever the help collapses, we know he's going to find shooters. Again, he's got an absurd more than 3, nearly 4 assist to turnover ratio post Dame. That's a crazy number. That's a crazy number for like a John Stockton, for a player who also is scoring at that level, because you can turn the ball over passing or scoring. You usually do both. 8.6 assists to 2.2 turnovers is nuts for the role Giannis has offense. Crazy. And like,
Would you say it's good efficiency?
I'd say it's good efficiency. He's totally stopped drawing offensive fouls, basically. Just has such great body control. Just an immaculate player. So the question for the Bucks is, one, will Doc use the right lineups? Looking positive there, at least by the end of games, hopefully soon by the starting games too. But 2, is the production going to be there? Right? Like, we've had these experiences with role players where we're really excited about them going into the playoffs. Malik Beasley, Grayson Allen, the list goes on. And it's just not quite the same. I will say it's usually not as much of a dip. I feel like when you look back statistically, it feels like in the moment. But this is a series where Giannis is going to be outside of himself, which is going to be great, but he's not going to score the 120 points you probably need to beat Indiana most nights totally by himself. If he does, power to him. I would love to watch that game. But assuming he doesn't break Wilt's record by 20 points.
What would you do if that happened?
Probably do a podcast about it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think here's if that we go live at 100 and then
we go live at 70.
I don't know if I'd want to stop watching the game at 70.
No, we'd have the game
watching it. Yeah. If Giannis gets to 70, we'll go live immediately. Fine.
Yeah.
Deal. Go ahead, Giannis. Put us on the spot. But outside of that, is going to be entirely reliant on players who are role players. There is no arguing that. Again, let's do the damn thing now. I don't think he's going to play in the playoffs at all. They're continuing to say there's optimism. He could come back in the Pacers series. They said this about Giannis. It's last update we heard. He still had a clot, but it's going in a good direction.
70% gone. I think that's what they said.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine he's going to be ready to play right when it's gone.
He's been cleared for short distance traveling.
Yeah. So maybe he'll be in Indiana to start the series. That means, I mean, I guess you could bus him there. It's like a 5-hour drive.
That's way too much.
What do you mean?
That's a too long of a drive.
Oh yeah, I guess it's better to just fly him at that point
Yeah.
because you're only sitting for like what, an hour, probably less.
Yeah, it's a short flight.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I guess I don't know why the thought is you can't fly in airplanes at all. It's anyway.
It's also the pressure thing. It's not
Yeah,
just the
there is a
sitting, it's
pressure
the
thing.
pressure thing.
Yeah,
But if
but
he's been cleared for short distance flights, Indiana would be a short distance flight,
you would hope. I mean, unless they're just like, he can go to Chicago.
which they don't even fly to. They
No,
drive.
that's the thing. Just get him doing. He can walk to Indiana.
Maybe by that time he'll be ready to play.
Yeah, and they'll have to turn back right away because it'll probably be time to go back to Milwaukee. But assuming Dame doesn't play, and I think that is that where you're at? Just
I don't think he plays in the first round. I don't.
yeah, we'll see after that. Maybe.
I think there's a chance that he could play in the second round. I don't think he
Yeah.
plays in the first round if they
Yeah.
get there.
Yeah. It's just all role players, and I think that's the number one question. Is they have, again, in this post Dame time, outside of Giannis, there are 6 guys averaging double figures, and then Prince at 8.7, Green at 7.4. So they have had their top 9 has been very evenly productive. Like that one game was a microcosm. They have had most games where it's just players are taking turns, finding their spots and scoring. Is that going to last? Or are 5 of those players per night going to dry up? That's just the number one question going into this series. And that's going to determine this series, how far they go after this, and probably the future outlook of the Bucks. Like if this works in the playoffs, if like, okay, Giannis and a bunch of role players. I'm not one of the people who's like KPJ is playing so good.
Bunch of young role players.
Mostly. Yeah, younger than they've had in years past, for sure.
100%.
Are any of them 30?
No.
Brooke Lopez. Brooke Lopez.
Yes. I thought we were talking about the other guys.
Well, all of them have been doing their own part. But
yeah, Torian Prince I think is
probably
30.
Prince is probably 30. I don't think Trent is. I don't think
Gary Trent's 26.
Is Kuzma?
Kyle Kuzma's 28.
Oh wow.
Kyle Kuzma is
is Bob the oldest besides Brooke?
He's 29.
Is Bob 30?
Bob is not 30. I don't think.
Really?
He is 30. No, he's 30.
He turned 30 in February, so very recent 30. I was going to say, he's been in the league way too long to still be like 27 years.
Who's being just a few months younger than Bob is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
It feels wrong.
Well, I think Kuz played like 2 more years in college.
Yeah.
Was Bob a one and done? Actually, I don't know if that's true.
Bob he played sophomore. He played 2.
He played 2. I think Kuz played 3 or 4. Anyway,
Kyle
this doesn't
Kuzma
matter. Younger
played.
group.
Yes.
But like this could influence how the Bucks build around Giannis going forward. Like, is a Mavericks pre-stupid trade deadline build where, I mean, Kyrie's a star too, so it's not totally apples to apples, but like investing more in a full supporting cast of like 8 than, okay, we're going to have 3 guys and then 10 vet minimums, which is basically what they've done. 3, 4 guys, Brooke too, but Brooke has obviously scaled down a lot in terms of effectiveness over the last year or so, 2 years. I don't know. It's really interesting. I think if they come out and they look great against Indiana and then have a really good series against like a Cleveland, it would be Cleveland, then maybe it changes how you think about building around Giannis.
I think it 100% does. And I think that should shift anyway. We've seen this, like the league sort of shift from landscape of, oh, you need to build solely around stars and you can figure it out later to, no, you need to invest in some role players because the general NBA talent level is so high compared to what it used to be that you need to be able to invest in good players that are not stars because those are few and far between. You can find very good players. Like the gap between star and role player is much lower than it used to be. So I think that's been the trend in the NBA, and I think the Bucks are finally realizing that, or not even realizing it, but have the ability to alter
themselves.
Like
they got pushed into this position, basically.
Yeah, they're like, hey, we're forcing you to play like this. Somehow it worked, and they got really lucky.
Yeah, and the other Mavericks comp is just like everyone is some sort of a two-way player, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone they're playing right now gives you something on both ends, and they're a much more athletic group than they've been. And like shockingly, that works for every other team, and it works for the Bucks as well. I I don't want to do a long thing on this. I feel bad for him as a person, and he could come back and have an amazing playoff run. This run has definitely not made anyone alive with eyeballs go, they're really missing Damian Lillard on the court right now, which is crazy to say. They have not missed him on the court very much since he went out.
No, they have not.
And a lot of that is credit, as we've discussed on the last two pods that we did, to Rollins and KPJ, who have picked up, a lot of that point guard responsibility in a big way. But just not having any defensive holes, really. Like having your worst defensive player be Big Bob, who is not a good defender, but they don't drop him anymore. And suddenly it's like, oh, it's not really noticeable. He's just out there guarding big wings and doing an okay job and rebounding. That's fine. You can totally live with that. That's a lot different than like a porous perimeter defender, I think.
Yeah, I think so. It's like just being able to utilize the guys to their strengths and not, their weaknesses. It's crazy how that works, right?
Right.
Don't put him in positions to fail, and he'll do better than you expect.
Yeah. I mean, I think, like, is he their worst defender in the rotation right now? I guess, or Brook. It's kind of hard to say with
Bob.
Brook. When Brook does his job, he's still a good defender. He's just not great anymore. When they ask him to go out on the perimeter, he's terrible. I don't know why they ever. Like those possessions where he gets switched onto a guard, it's just like so many people failed for this to happen. This is a societal failure. Like Taurean Prince, wake up, go pick that guy up. Don't make Brook pick up, I'm trying to remember the last game, who it was. I think Ant. I think he had to pick up Ant once, and Ant immediately hit a three. It's like, yeah, maybe don't let that happen ever. They have Rudy Gobert. Leave Rudy Gobert wide open under the basket over this.
Yeah, it's almost like Doc has two minds. One where he's playing with I started watching Severance, so it's almost like he's severed. With like, oh, he has to play one way with the traditional starters, and he's like, oh man, I gotta be traditional Doc Rivers, and then he goes to this micro young lineup, and he's like, oh, I'm Doc Rivers, baby.
I'm cooking. Well, they always say, even Sixers fans who hate Doc were like, he's really weirdly good when the chips are down. And we saw it like he kind of figured out Gallo lineups and stuff last year. Are the chips just going to be eternally down with Dame out? Like, is Doc going to cook the whole playoffs?
I hope so, man.
I hope so too. He's clearly figured something out. How much is he going to trust it?
I think he's going to trust it a lot, considering he's been trusting it now.
But is he going to trust it? I think the starters should not be what they've been. Everyone
I don't think
knows
he's going to
this.
change that.
I would start that fourth quarter group. And that sounds crazy. And especially number one litmus test guy over here. I would start that group because it just matches up so much better with Indiana.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
It's a hard series for Brook Lopez, man.
It really is.
We saw it. We seen it with our own eyes.
There's film of what he did. Shout out to Kyle.
I mean, I would at least switch up part of this. I wouldn't start Kuz.
Yeah, I think, we haven't really had the Kuz discussion, but I would not start Kuz either.
I would play him. I think he'll help you. I just wouldn't start him with Giannis and Brook.
No, it doesn't work. We've never seen evidence of it working in his tenure as a Buck. And it's done. Like, I was about to say it's done. No, it's not. The regular season is done. I hope the tenure's not done. That means something catastrophic happened.
We have released Kyle Kuzma. We're feeling the vibes.
You didn't pass
the cap hit is tremendous, but we had to do what we had to do.
Sometimes you got to make decisions.
Yeah.
Nico Harrison's our new GM.
Oh my God. Please no.
Is Horst a lame duck, by the way?
I don't know. I think that KPJ trade, I think he's going to be getting an extension. I'm surprised he hasn't.
No, I'm saying now.
Oh, you think someone else? I mean, Doc is the guy who liked KPJ.
No, I'm saying currently, does he not have a contract?
Oh, I think so. I think so.
Does he have one more year?
I don't know.
I think it might be. I'll look up. I think it might be one more year.
I'll look this up.
But no, I don't think Kyle Kuzma should start. That experiment has not worked. And I can't even call it an experiment at this point because that's just been what they've been doing. I mean, as soon as he came in, Doc's like, yeah, we didn't trade for him to not start him. But you might have. You might have traded for him to not start. It's really a situation where you can see Kyle Kuzma is capable of succeeding when he's, a featured piece. And that's what he would be during the bench lineups if you switch up the starters, is Kyle Kuzma being a featured piece off the bench. It's like we saw in this first quarter against the Pistons. I on Sunday, I know that doesn't really count, but he went off. He's shooting well from deep as of late. Can that carry in, like you were saying earlier? Can we finally have a Bucks player who was not shooting well in the regular season kind of turn it on in the playoffs? We shall see. Ty, you look really confused.
Yeah, I just nobody knows. I
Okay.
don't think anyone knows how long his contract is. It was a multi-year extension after the championship when his contract was going to end after the 22-23 season. So if it was 2 years, that would be this summer. If it was 3 years, he'd have one more year.
It's probably next year.
I would think so.
There would
Two
be
years
much
does
more
not seem.
buzz if he was a lame duck right now.
Did anyone mention this when he was going to sign with Detroit?
Maybe.
I'm going to look that up now.
I don't know why I just thought of that, but it's something to keep
Um,
in mind.
yeah, it's very they're situated again like this could totally flip if the good Bucks, who they've been good, they've this whole season they've been like good Bucks for 10 plus games, bad Bucks for 10ish games. And they ended up with 48 wins, which is not bad, but less than we wanted. If they have
They
a
couldn't
bad
get to
Bucks
50.
if they have a bad Bucks playoff run and they lose in the first round, then I could see multiple front office and coaching staff people going. If not, they could maybe they'll be retained. I don't know what they're gonna do. Obviously, we'll see. Yeah, I don't think anyone explicitly knows. If anyone, maybe
If
I'm
you
missing
know,
a
let us
different
know.
story. Yeah, let us know. Or John Horst DM and let us know when that old contract is up.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think it's
John
it's
Horst,
a
if you need
huge
me for coffee.
it's a huge team building moment. And but also it's not like let's see how the playoffs go, right? Like if it falls apart and it's like, oh, we're relying on too many role guys, then I think you do otherwise. I kind of have faith though that it's gonna work because it just feels like in years past, Bucks role players were like, so you stand there and you shoot. And now there's just more offensive involvement from most of them. And I think they're just better. I just think they have better personnel. I mean, I still
I
don't
think
know
they do too.
exactly. I still don't know exactly how to rate KPJ because if you just look at like the last 2 weeks, it's like he's like a borderline star, like would be a 6 man of the year candidate next year if he continues coming off the bench. If you look at the season as a whole, it's a little more up and down, but he's obviously been tremendous. Trent is clearly the best player they brought off the bench in a long, long time, and
Oh,
I don't know if he should
100%.
anymore. AJ Green, I think, is a better shooter than they've had coming off the bench ever. I mean, Malik Beasley mostly started. Portis obviously is Portis and looks really sharp, is playing really well. Credit to him, clearly kept in phenomenal shape during the long suspension
Yes. Yeah,
because he has
he
not
did
missed a
everything
beat.
he needed to do.
And Rollins has played really well if he continues starting. Like their players are just hitting. And Pat Connaughton now is like, oh, maybe he could just if they need some more ball handling. I
Break
just don't
glass
think
in
they
case of
do.
emergency.
Yeah, it's not a bad option if one of
He's
the
kind of
point guards is
supplanted
really
Ajax.
struggling. Yeah, because he just does things for them offensively. It's going to be really interesting. What do you think is the most likely starting five? Is it just going to be the same group,
I
or do
think
you
it
think there's
is.
any changes?
I don't think if Doc was going to do it, he's not going to do it game one of the playoffs.
I don't know.
He's not going to throw a wrench. Maybe Doc's that kind of insane, but I think he's too cautious.
We'll see. I was really hoping they would change it in the weeks before for that reason.
They should have. They would have had to. That's why I think they're not going to, because that was the time you needed to, and they didn't.
Yeah.
But maybe with new evidence and all this, they're changing some stuff, talking to the guys, seeing what works. We shall
The
see.
the fact that they just played the whole fourth quarter in the last two games that mattered, it's just like that's loud. That's like a very obvious like we're on to this group. And I kind of agree with you. I don't think they'll start all five of those guys by any means. Um, I hope they would
I think
change
they're
the
going to
starting
start
five.
Giannis. Bold take.
They are going to start Giannis. I believe that. I don't have a strong feeling for like the second most likely guy to start at this point. I guess TP because I love TP.
They do love TP, whose minutes have been going down,
It's been going down a lot.
which I don't think is bad. I don't think it's an indictment on TP, as we keep saying. It's an indictment on his role that he's been tasked with.
He
Because
does have just too many lazy possessions.
he sometimes is an idiot, but
Yeah.
like sometimes he's the greatest basketball IQ player of all time. Like he'll make like these crazy reads on defense
Oh
and
yeah,
and then like save the ball from falling out of bounds after he tipped a pass that he read from two passes away. And it's
yeah.
like, oh, I see it. Like, it's like,
It's
oh,
also
this
like
this dude is incredible.
he probably like is the most surprising player at some of the situations that he's able to work through to get to the rim.
It's like
And I'm just
Pat.
like, yeah,
It's
but he
kind
does
of
it
like
less
Pat,
often.
where it's like, how'd you get there? Like what?
Yeah,
What? How did that work? It's like I
I will
expect it
say
to fail as it's happening, but then it doesn't, and he's at the rim. Sometimes he'll miss it, but I'll be like, how'd you get yourself there to begin with? Like that's impressive.
I think and I think he's cut down a lot of the like um sky
Skyhooks.
hooks and other things like that. Yeah, which is not less step backs, I feel.
The one time he did a dream shake killed me.
Oh my god. Yeah, there's been less of that. Crazy stat in the month of April. Giannis in 6 games is plus 19.5 per game. So the Bucks have won his minutes by 20 points per game in April. Pretty good. Second on the list, AJ Green plus 16.6.
Amazing. He's been a
A
game
lot of that
breaker.
he's
It's
been a
been
game
with that
breaker.
new
Yeah,
lineup. Yeah.
Bob, but not entirely. Bob is plus 9, KPJ is plus 8, Trent plus
I
6.7,
think it's because he
Rollins
plays the
plus 2.
fewest out of those guys.
Yeah, the only rotation guy who's been a negative is Torian Prince at minus 0.7,
But I,
which
I
is
will say
almost impossible.
I think that's an indictment of the starters in
But
general.
Kuz is plus 2.
But for some reason,
Some of that's that last game of the year though.
yeah, TP really kind of plays with just starters, it feels like.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like you'll never see TP out there in a lineup without like at least Giannis. Or I
yeah,
like lineups without Brook is
yeah,
interesting too.
yeah. I'm really excited to see how the Bucks approach this. And again, like I have no feel for who's going to start. I think it's probably most likely most, if not all, of the group that has started. But I think almost any combination of 4 guys and Giannis who are actually in the rotation, I would be like, that could work or that makes sense. Or
He's
I could
T
see that.
TP has played 149 minutes without Brook or Giannis this season. They're minus 14.6.
Yeah, I'm not shocked to hear
That's
that.
tough.
Yeah, I think almost all of his value is tied to Giannis.
Yeah.
He did all the homework on Giannis and
Which
none
is
on any of
good.
the
If
other
you're gonna tie
players.
yourself to
Yeah,
one
yeah,
person,
it's smart.
you picked right.
That's the guy.
At least he's
That's the
not
guy.
tying his value to like Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah, like
No, I only work
I
with
really know
Kuz.
how to. I'm a Brook Lopez guy.
That's it.
I play with Brook and no one else.
Take me out of this Pacers series, like
Yeah.
preemptively. Bucks
Um,
Pacers round 2 tie.
yeah, I'm excited. I think the Bucks have a lot better. I mean, you just look back, like we've talked about how the Bucks have just like been deep this time and everything else. You look back to their series against Indiana last year, and I just looking at like some of the players who were playing a lot. I don't say this lightly. I was shocked at how much I forgot where they were at by the time of this series. And obviously injuries struck and were a lot of them. But like even in game 1, Chris, Dame, Brooke, Bob start. Was it Beasley no, I think it was Bev at that point. So they're starting 35-year-old Patrick Beverly at the 2. Middleton, Portis, Lopez, which a crazy 4-5 to go into Siakam Miles Turner. Their bench to game 1. Obviously, Giannis is out. Malik Beasley, Pat Connaughton, Jay Crowder, AJ Green, only 5 minutes. Did not have a shot the whole series.
It's tough.
And then
There's a lot of boss man.
Ajax and Gallo end up getting in, and that's pretty much their bench for the whole series. So, like, obviously, I know they had terrible injuries, but like they're gonna have one star out this series. I just feel so much better about their lineup than I did last time.
Oh, 100%. You have to, right? Like there's like these players are playing so much better than those guys ever were, and it just fits together way better than we've seen in years past.
I've got an
Plus,
article
you have
coming out on the differences. Do you know how many bench players hit 10 points in a game for the Bucks that series?
ooh, I don't think Boss Man did.
No
Uh,
one did ever.
oh wow.
Never. So they have 3 bench players averaging double figures coming in. No one did it in a single game against the Pacers last time.
That's tough. That's really bad.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guarantee you that breaks game 1.
It almost has to, right?
Yeah.
Like, unless he does, I mean, even if he starts all these guys, like Brook could have 10 off the bench.
Kuz.
Kuz could have 10. TP could, I mean, TP actually does not usually score 10 points, but
He
it's
could
possible.
hit a few threes.
Rollins, if Rollins doesn't start, could definitely score 10.
I think it breaks game one. I think multiple players do it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's they've been averaging six-ish guys scoring 10 per game. They had 4 guys average 10 or more last series, and one of them was Dame, who only played in 4 of the games. So Dame, Chris, of course, Brooke, Bobby, and then Bees averaged 8.8. Their 5th leading scorer had 8. Pat Bev also averaged 8, and then next was Pat C, who averaged 4 per game. Their 7th leading scorer averaged 4 points per game in a series without Giannis. Like, obviously, that's not going to work.
And you know what works, Ty?
What?
Giannis.
Yeah. Helps the whole thing go.
Yeah. He kind of makes it work, and he's going to be playing. He makes everyone around him better. And that's going
It is
to
a team more built for Giannis.
It's really going to help. It's not a team built for Dame. It's a team built for Giannis.
Yeah. So we shall see. I'm really excited for the series. We'll do our preview pod. I'll do an article. I'll talk to this. I did talk to the Setting the Pace guys. That'll be up on this feed sometime tomorrow. So we got a lot of content coming. We are very excited, of course, for the playoffs. We'll be diving into the play-in with our prize pick slate to keep that mess more interesting.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one. I hope one of ours hits.
Oh, yeah, me too. That'd be electric.
Yeah. It'd be more than electric.
What would you do? I'd do a pod about it.
I'd do a pod about it. Just about the prize picks entry. I'd do it. I'm down. I'll do a solo pod.
Just come on here and talk to the folks.
I think it's really tough for me to do a solo pod because you'd be like, I want it anyway. I don't care. I don't care if you do solo.
I would break in. I would break in. You wouldn't even be on Zoom.
I wouldn't even be on Zoom. You're right.
I'd show up at the house. Hey,
yeah, you'd just be like, yeah, I'm ready. Let's do this.
Plop down. I brought my own mic. Let me plug in here.
I don't even need to change the settings. We're good. We got 2.
It's true. I'm insatiable. It's true.
But we will, because of that, we will have more. No, not just because of that, but we will have more content coming for you. Like Ty mentioned, but we will say thank you for listening to this episode of the Gyro Step here on Blue Wire GSPN, presented by our amazing, wonderful electric friends over at Prize Picks. Make sure you're subscribed wherever you're listening or watching this podcast. Just check out gspn.info for all of our links. Pod random. We'll talk to you next time.